Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to dive into a storm of secrets, betrayals, and shocks that are spiraling out of control on screen. Each new development is like a spark pushing the characters to the brink of irreversible decisions, while long-buried truths are about to explode in unexpected ways. If Dani finds out Bill has been hospitalized, how will she react, knowing she's only their mother? What do you think? Keep watching to find out. This is what's bothering me, and I know it sounds a bit over the top, but I really think there's something infinitely bigger going on here. I am talking, of course, about that absolutely electrifying scene where Dani storms into Bill's hospital room. What did she actually see when she crossed that threshold? The show wants us to think she just saw Hayley standing there, being the dutiful wife, and lost her mind out of sheer jealousy, but I don't buy it. What did Dani see that made her completely lose her baseline composure? Was it a micro-expression on Hayley's face? Was Hayley doing something to the Ivy line? Was she whispering something sinister into a helpless Bill's ear? It's strange, really strange, and the more I think about it, the stranger it gets. You don't just walk into a critical care room and immediately resort to physical violence unless your brain has registered an immediate, life-threatening danger that supersedes all social norms. Why couldn't Dani contain her rage? She is an intelligent woman, a woman who usually calculates her moves with precision. Yet she walked right up and delivered a resounding slap to Hayley's face right in front of the medical staff, the lingering visitors, everyone. No, wait. Before I talk about that, I have to reiterate this. Dani is the ex-wife. Society, the hospital administration, the legal system, they all view her as the outsider now. She has no legal standing to be the protector in this room. So why did she feel so entitled to unleash physical violence, risking being thrown out by security or arrested? Because she had to. The slap wasn't just a loss of control. It was a desperate, calculated disruption. It was a physical manifestation of a psychological breaking point. She needed to break whatever dark, suffocating hold Hayley had over that room. Which brings me to the golden question that has been keeping me awake. Does Hayley genuinely care for Bill? If we look at the surface, she plays the part flawlessly. The tear-stained cheeks, the trembling hands, the constant, exhausting vigil by the bedside. But actually, this detail might be meaningless, but it could be the whole issue. Did you notice Hayley's posture before the slap? When a loved one is fighting for their life in a hospital bed, your body naturally curves toward them, seeking connection, seeking the reassurance of their breath. Hayley's posture was rigid. Her eyes darted to the door. She was standing guard, not keeping vigil. She looked more like a warden protecting her prize than a worried wife praying for a miracle. Who benefits if the truth about Bill's sudden, mysterious medical crisis is concealed? Hayley does. She controls the narrative, the access, and potentially the estate. And then there is Bill. Oh, poor, trapped Bill. What did he see in Dani's eyes right after the sharp echo of that slap faded from the sterile walls? He didn't see the bitter, unhinged, jealous ex-wife that Hayley has spent months trying to convince him Dani is. He saw absolute, unadulterated terror. He saw desperation. He saw a woman who was willing to look completely crazy in public just to snap him out of his medically induced haze. Is Dani overstepping the boundaries of an ex-wife? Technically, yes. By every societal metric, she is crossing a massive, unforgivable line. But when life and death are hanging in the balance, boundaries are just chalk on the pavement waiting to be washed away by the storm. Sometimes, you have to overstep to save a life. Will Hayley use her status as Bill's current, legal wife to wage an all-out war against Dani? Absolutely. She has the ultimate trump card. She can call security. She can file a restraining order. She can look at the doctors with her big, tearful eyes and say, "This woman is causing my husband severe distress. Please remove her immediately." And they will, because she wears the ring. But what am I saying? Oh right, the confrontation. Hayley wants this confrontation, but she desperately needs it on her terms. She wants Dani to look like the erratic aggressor so that when Dani finally tries to reveal the truth, No one in their right mind will believe her. It is a classic, textbook gaslighting technique. Isolate the target, discredit the savior, and play the victim. But everything, and I mean everything, hinges on those 6 words. The 6 words Dani leaned in and whispered to Bill amidst the chaos. What were they? I have racked my brain, replayed the scene, trying to lip read, trying to deduce the exact phrasing from the sheer weight of the context. Was it a warning, she is trying to kill you? 6 words. Was it a revelation of evidence? I found the tampered brake lines? 6 words. Or maybe it was a plea for him to wake up to reality. Don't trust anything she gives you. 6 words. Whatever those 6 short words were, they were a precision strike. They bypassed the beeping monitors, the heavy medications, and the thick fog of manipulation, landing directly in the center of Bill's soul. Why did those 6 short words leave Bill completely paralyzed, staring blankly, dead silent? Because they validated a dark, subconscious fear he already harbored. Think about it. Bill is a formidable, intelligent man. You don't build the life and empire he has by being oblivious to the shadows. Deep down, in the dark corners of his mind before he fell unconscious, he must have suspected something was fundamentally wrong with his marriage, with his health, with Hayley. Those 6 words from Dani weren't a shocking new revelation. They were a horrifying confirmation. The terrifying realization that his gut instincts were right all along, and that he is now physically trapped in a sterile bed, completely at the mercy of the very woman who likely put him there. This psychological paralysis perfectly explains why Bill couldn't speak up to defend Hayley. If someone violently slaps your devoted, loving wife, your immediate, primal instinct is to roar, to demand the attacker leave, to protect your spouse. But Bill was silent. His silence was deafening. It echoed louder than the slap itself. He didn't defend Hayley because, in that fraction of a second, the grand illusion shattered into a million unfixable pieces. He looked at Hayley holding her reddened cheek, instinctively playing the victim. And then he looked at Dani, breathing heavily, her eyes wild with a desperate, brutal honesty. He saw the truth. He saw that the woman he is legally bound to might be his executioner, and the woman he pushed away might be his only true salvation. Are Dani's words directly related to the exact, hidden reason Bill was hospitalized in the first place? It's strange, really strange, and the more I think about it, the stranger it gets. The timing of his sudden illness, the rapid decline, the convenient isolation, it reeks of foul play. I firmly believe Dani uncovered the smoking gun. Or perhaps there's another, more emotional angle we are missing. What if Bill didn't just hear a terrifying warning about Hayley's actions? What if he saw the raw, undeniable proof of Dani's true, selfless care for him, and that realization alone struck him dumb? He couldn't bring himself to blame her or scold her for the slap because he realized, in a moment of profound clarity, that she was fighting a war for his life when he was too weak to fight for himself. This brings us to the inevitable, seismic shift in the power dynamics. Will Bill start to doubt the woman sitting patiently beside him? He has to. The seed of doubt has been firmly planted, and in the fertile, paranoid soil of a hospital bed where you have absolutely nothing to do but stare at the ceiling and think. That seed will grow into a suffocating vine. Every single time Hayley hands him a cup of water, he will hesitate. Every time she adjusts his IV drip or fluffs his pillow, his heart rate will subtly spike. He is now forced to play a deadly game of cat and mouse from a supine position, pretending to be the trusting husband while secretly analyzing his wife's every move. How will Hayley react to this new, unspoken tension? Will she continue to play the fragile, weeping willow, or will she bare her fangs now that she has been physically challenged? I predict she will double down on the victim routine in public, painting Dani as a monster to anyone who will listen. But in private, in the quiet moments when the nurses leave the room, she will begin to subtly torture Bill. She will let him know that she knows he knows. She is the quintessential character who seems innocent, sweet, and devoted to the outside world but harbors the darkest, most calculating ulterior motives imaginable. Every character in this toxic triangle is now facing a dangerous, life-altering choice. Tell the truth and risk an all-out war that could end in tragedy, or remain silent, keep up appearances, and let the poison continue to spread until it's too late. Will this violent, shocking confrontation force Dani and Bill back onto the same side of the battlefield? I believe it will. It has too. They share a massive history, a shorthand communication, a fundamental understanding of each other's tells and triggers. Bill knows, deep in his bones, that Dani wouldn't act like a complete lunatic in a public hospital without a rock-solid, terrifying reason. Their silent communication in that room, the slap, the 6 words, the stunned silence might just be the forging of a secret alliance that takes Hayley down. They are now co-conspirators in a desperate, high-stakes bid for survival. Let's build the predictions, layer by layer, because we need to see where this is going. First, the most plausible scenario, Hayley has been slowly, methodically dosing Bill with something undetectable to induce a heart attack or a stroke, aiming to inherit his estate and gain total control. Dani, doing some unauthorized digging, found a receipt, a hidden vial, or overheard a damning phone call, rushing into the hospital just in time to stop Hayley from administering the final lethal dose. The slap wasn't just anger, it was a physical move to knock a syringe out of her sleeve or break her concentration. Plausible, right? It fits the classic soap opera playbook perfectly. But that doesn't explain her reaction. If Hayley was just caught red-handed attempting murder, why wouldn't she panic? Why wouldn't she run, or immediately try to spin a lie? Why just stand there and take the slap, playing the victim? So let's look at a darker, more complex possibility. What if Hayley isn't the mastermind? What if she isn't working alone? What if she is being manipulated, blackmailed, or threatened by someone even higher up, a ruthless corporate rival, a hidden, vengeful family member? She is poisoning Bill, yes, but under severe duress. The slap was Dani interrupting a hit ordered by a powerful shadow syndicate. Hayley took the slap and played the victim because she is just as terrified of her handlers as Bill should be of her. Now brace yourselves for the shocking twist. If he really is behind it all, why would he leave such obvious clues? Wait, what if Bill orchestrated his own poisoning? What if Bill knew Hayley was a gold digger from the start and deliberately ingested small, non-lethal amounts of toxins to frame her, planning to have her arrested for attempted murder once and for all? But the master plan went wrong. His body couldn't handle it. He took too much and ended up genuinely fighting for his life in a coma. Dani, knowing Bill's Machiavellian tendencies, figured out his insane, suicidal master plan. Her 6 words were, "I know what you did, idiot." 6 words. That's why Bill was utterly stunned. He realized his ex-wife saw right through his deadly, backfiring charade, and now he is trapped in his own trap. But wait, if Bill is the mastermind, why would he put himself in such a vulnerable, near-death state where Hayley could easily finish him off? No, that's too convoluted, even for him. Let's return to the core, terrifying truth. Hayley is the predator, Bill is the helpless prey, and Dani is the rogue, unpredictable hunter who just kicked the door down. Is this slap the very first moment that Hayley's meticulously crafted, years in the making plan begins to collapse? Yes, absolutely. A plan that relies on absolute, quiet control crumbles the very moment loud, uncontrollable chaos is introduced, and Dani is pure chaos. It's strange, really strange, and the more I think about it, the stranger it gets. The lighting in that hospital room, the harsh, unforgiving fluorescent glare, seemed to strip away all the comforting shadows Hayley usually hides her true intentions in. When Dani's hand made violent contact with Hayley's face, it wasn't just skin hitting skin. It was undeniable truth striking carefully constructed deception. It was the sound of a massive, heavy dam finally cracking under pressure. The water is going to rush in, the secrets are going to flood the halls of Genoa City, and it's going to drown whoever hasn't learned how to swim in the truth. I just hope Bill has enough physical and mental strength left to hold his breath, because the ultimate truth of why he is lying in that bed and what Hayley truly has planned for him might be far more brutal, far more intimate, and far more devastating than anything we are currently imagining. The game has changed, the board has been flipped, and those 6 whispered words are the ticking timer on a bomb that is about to blow all their lives apart.